Hello, back again on the Top Recap channel. This time I will tell a movie's entitled Ferry. Let's get straight into the storyline. The film will focus on a man named Ferry Booman. Since childhood, Ferry and his sister Claudia have often been treated harshly by their father, who is often drunk. One night, his father, who was drunk again, vented his anger on Ferry until Ferry was desperate to take his father's gun. When his father beat his mother, Ferry came out of hiding and wanted to shoot his father.
Jou te maken hebben.
Vuile ondankbare hoer!
Let op stukken, jongen! Laat het los! Ferry, kom terug.
Een stoere jongen!
Jack!
Schiet aan!
Jack! Jack, schiet!
Maken, jongen. Loser.
Over time, Ferry grew into a criminal and drug addict. He devoted his life to a mobster named Brink, whom he considered his father. Brink is an influential mafia leader in the Netherlands, precisely in Amsterdam. His business ranges from drug trafficking to loan sharking. People who get into trouble with him will never be safe because Ferry, as his confidant, can easily take their lives. One day, Ferry accompanied Brink to see his son, Matthijs, who managed one of his father's businesses. Once there, his father was angry because he thought his son could not manage the business properly.
Ik heb gehoord dat de Marokko op is.
Nou is het weer op. Dus als je mij gewoon even mijn zaken laat regelen.
Belangrijk. Openingsfase. Is dat in die openingsfase?
Shortly afterwards, 3 robbers entered the place.
Nou, opschieten nou! Nou zeg! Tempo, tempo!
Brink tried to fight back by taking a gun that was kept under the table, but one of the robbers shot Matthijs right in the chest.
Misschien met de bal. Laten kijken, maar het is zo goed gedaan van ze.
After the robbers left, they immediately took Matthijs to the hospital. At the hospital, Brink looked very sad about what happened to his son. He told Ferry he hoped his son would become a strong man like him, but unfortunately, Matthijs did not grow up as expected. Brink also asked Ferry to immediately pursue and finish off the 3 robbers in retaliation for what they had done to Matthijs.
Dit is geen toeval, Ferry. Brabo's. Waren Brabo's. En ik wil dat jij ze afschiet.
Based on the CCTV footage, Ferry managed to identify one of the perpetrators' faces, but unfortunately, he did not know where the perpetrator was. Finally, Ferry went to see John, his sister Claudia's husband. Upon arrival, Claudia and Ferry got into an argument that led to Claudia having a seizure.
Lekker toch op, man, hysterische blafkut.
Hier, dit is wat ik van jou denk.
Valt het kapot. Rustig.
John said that Claudia was currently suffering from a brain tumor, which made it difficult for her to control her emotions.
Schrijf er nog een paar maanden.
Ferry then asked John to identify the person in the photo, and it was discovered that the man was Jason. Ferry immediately went to the camping zone in Belgium to look for the man.
Zonnedaal.
Upon arrival, he sneaked into Jason's house but did not find anyone other than a woman he thought was Jason's wife. Unable to find Jason, Ferry rented a caravan opposite Jason's.
Dank u.
He continued to wait, hoping that the man would return soon. However, after days of waiting, Jason never came. Feeling bored, Ferry went to the night market, which was not far away. When he arrived, he saw a woman who had previously been at Jason's house being harassed by a man. Ferry's instinct to protect the woman emerged. He immediately beat the man and told him to leave.
Ja, hij vond me lastiger.
The 2 of them eventually got acquainted. Ferry learnt that the woman's name was Danielle. She worked as a cleaning service at Jason's house, cleaning his caravan and feeding his cat. Ferry asked when Jason would return to the place, but this question made Danielle suspicious.
Dan blijft hij daar dan lang.
Ben je zijn vriendin? Waar komt er vandaan dan?
Amsterdam.
Houdoe, hè?
Houdoe.
The next day, Ferry wakes up and sees Jason's cat beside him. Ferry takes the cat back to Jason's house. Seeing that no one is inside, he enters through the back window and destroys the whole house as if there had been a robbery there. Then, he met Danielle and said he heard a commotion from Jason's house.
Ja, dus misschien moet even gaan kijken.
Danielle immediately checked Jason's house's condition and saw it was a mess.
Oh, fuck. Nee, niet aan.
Hoi, hoi die Jason bellen.
Danielle then immediately called Jason and asked him to come home immediately.
Dit is echt belangrijk, er is ingebroken.
Not long after, Jason finally arrived. However, as soon as he arrived, he returned to the car. Ferry took advantage of this moment and got into Jason's car. He immediately pointed his gun at him and asked him to stay away from the place. Upon arriving at a mine, Ferry started interrogating Jason. He asked why they committed the robbery and who ordered them. Unfortunately, Jason refused to tell who his colleagues were. Finally, Ferry asked him to get out of the car. However, Jason intended to run away and fell down the cliff. Ferry caught up with him, which made him roll down.
Wie zijn jouw vrienden? Huh?
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Dat was het?
Ja, dat was het! Ja!
After torturing Jason, Jason still insisted on not telling the name of his partner, which made Ferry upset and immediately killed Jason. After that, Ferry took Jason's mobile phone and found the second perpetrator, Davy. Before continuing his mission, Ferry returned to the camp first. Seeing Ferry, who was injured, made Danielle a little worried, so she invited him to her caravan to treat Ferry's wounds.
Ik probeer het heel voorzichtig te doen, maar... Ja, sorry.
Danielle also lent Ferry her ex-lover's clothes. Danielle's attention made him interested, and he began to like Danielle. Afterwards, Ferry returned to John for help finding Davy's address. Arriving there, Ferry only met Claudia instead. Apparently, Claudia's illness made him think of her, so he brought her some medicine. However, Claudia took offense and felt pitied. Finally, the two of them ended up arguing, making Ferry decide to leave.
We zien elkaar over 10 jaar wel weer. Kletwijf!
Not long after, John returned to see Ferry and asked what Ferry needed this time. Ferry honestly needed John's help to find a man named Davy.
Ik ken misschien wel een mannetje die een mannetje kent, ja. Wat gaat je geld kosten, jongen?
Maar je het. Brink betaald.
On the way home, Ferry, who wanted to use his cocaine, ran out. He decided to go to Danielle's place. Perhaps Danielle had an acquaintance who sold the goods. Upon arrival, it turned out that Danielle was indeed a user, but not cocaine, but ecstasy. Danielle then offered Ferry to enjoy the ecstasy she brought together. Without thinking, Ferry agreed to the offer.
Hey, veel werk, hè?
The next day, the two woke up in the same bed. Still reluctant to get out of bed, Danielle asked Ferry to help her take her dog for a walk outside.
Hoop zakjes liggen onder de wasbak.
While taking the dog, John called Ferry and told him that he had found Davy's address, which Ferry was looking for. Upon arriving at the address, Ferry pretended to be a package courier and managed to break down the door of Davy's residence. Davy fought back until a fight broke out between them. After defeating Davy, Ferry asked who he worked for.
Het was een van uw eigen mannen. Matthijs.
A surprising fact was revealed. Matthijs was the one who had paid them to rob his own father because his father no longer gave him money. As for Matthijs getting shot, it turned out to be a pure accident, as Davy, who panicked, accidentally shot him. Davy also tells Ferry about the third perpetrator, Lars van Marken, who lives in a campsite in the same place as Jason's caravan.
Lars van Marken.
Shortly after, Brink contacted Ferry and told him that Matthijs was dead.
Matthijs is dood.
Wat?
Brink, knowing that the second robber was dead, reiterated that Ferry had to find the third person who had killed his son. Ferry returned to the campsite and approached Danielle, who was busy cooking. Danielle then offered Ferry to relax at her place. She even offered to bake a cake and provide marijuana for them to enjoy. While they were having fun together, Danielle's younger brother suddenly entered the house. Danielle introduced Ferry to her younger brother Lars. Hearing the name, Ferry immediately felt déjà vu. The name sounded very familiar, similar to the name of the third robber he sought. While looking at Danielle's surname on the table, Ferry found a letter with Van Marken's name. That's when he realized that Danielle's younger brother, Lars Van Marken, was his target. Lars, who realized the strangeness of Ferry's behavior when he heard his name, immediately felt worried and rushed to leave the caravan.
Ja, ik moet weg. Hey, Ferry, tot volgende.
Apparently, Ferry was secretly following him from behind. When they arrive at a forest, Lars knocks Ferry down. Lars then apologized and explained that he was only the driver in the robbery incident that killed Matthijs. In fact, he said that he had not been paid until now. Ferry managed to take over the gun from Lars and sent the man further into the forest. There, Lars begged Ferry to forgive his actions, at least for the sake of his sister Danielle. He said that their parents had died, and Lars was the only family Danielle had. However, suddenly, Ferry fired a shot. This incident left Ferry with a dilemma. Finally, he decided to leave the camp immediately. Danielle, who saw Ferry leaving quickly, asked if they could still meet again. With a harsh tone, Ferry replied that his business was done and their relationship was fun. After that, Ferry left Danielle, who looked sad. After returning to Amsterdam, Ferry immediately met Brink and expressed his sorrow.
Ik ben blij dat je terug bent.
When Brink showed the news of the murder in the newspaper, Ferry confirmed that it was the first robber he had killed. News of the second death would follow, as would the third robber who was killed deep in the forest, so it might be difficult to find. Brink then asked how this robbery could know the right time and place to rob Brink's headquarters, or if someone had told them. Ferry briefly answered that these robbers had been stalking Brink's couriers for a long time, so they could know everything about him. Ferry also advised Brink to upgrade their security system immediately. Hearing the suggestion, Rico, one of Brink's confidants, said they had all done it. After returning to his apartment, Ferry contacted his sister, Claudia, and apologized for their poor relationship. Their disharmony began after Ferry got drunk and ruined Claudia's wedding day. It was known that John was Ferry's close friend, and he didn't want his best friend to marry his sister. Long story short, after returning from his assignment to finish off 3 robbers, Ferry began to get drunk, was often late, and did not focus on carrying out the tasks and business entrusted to him by Brink.
Ik sta hier weer alleen. Hey.
Eventually, Ferry's position as Brink's confidant was replaced by someone named Rico.
Of je bent zo grijnig, of je bent bezopen, of je komt te laat. Hier. Rico heeft het geregeld, voor de goede prijs ook nog.
Apparently, Ferry's change in attitude was not without reason. He was frustrated and in a dilemma because he hid the fact that he had not finished off Lars as Brink had ordered him to. One day, while Ferry was waiting for Rico and relaxing in the center of Amsterdam while enjoying a snack, he unexpectedly met Danielle, who was celebrating the bachelor party of one of her friends.
Ferry?
On that occasion, Ferry apologized for his actions, which left Danielle just like that and went missing.
Sorry.
Ach man, wat een kutafscheid was dat, zeg.
While they were talking, Rico suddenly came and joined them.
Heb jij een vriendinnetje waar ik niks vanaf weet?
While getting acquainted with Danielle, Rico realizes that Danielle's accent is southern, precisely from Belgium, where Ferry carried out his mission yesterday. Worried that his secret would be revealed, Ferry tried to end the conversation. However, Rico asked Danielle how she met Ferry in the first place. Danielle, who didn't know what danger she was in, innocently replied that they met at the campsite when he visited his sister, Claudia. She also mentioned staying at the campsite with her younger brother, Lars Van Marken. Of course, Rico, who heard the name, immediately realized Ferry was hiding something. However, in order not to look suspicious, Rico acted casually. He invited Ferry to immediately complete the drug delivery task ordered by Brink to them. After that, Rico took Ferry to meet with Brink. There, Brink said that Rico suspected that Ferry was hiding something from him. Brink's purpose in bringing Ferry was to convince Rico that there had been a misunderstanding about the information. Then, Brink asked why the news of Lars's death had not appeared in the newspaper, unlike the deaths of Jason and Davy. Ferry reasoned that Lars might not have been found because he killed him deep in the forest. When Brink mentions a woman named Danielle Van Marken, Ferry was finally cornered and told the truth. The mastermind of yesterday's robbery was Brink's son, Matthijs. Matthijs planned the robbery because he had great financial needs, while his father no longer gave him money. The shooting happened by accident, and Lars Van Marken was only acting as a driver who hadn't even been paid yet. Therefore, Ferry did not finish him off. After hearing all of Ferry's explanations, Brink said that he had loved Ferry all along. However, he begged him to find and finish Lars for him. With a heavy heart, Ferry refused the request. Because he received a refusal, Brink finally ordered his men to kidnap Danielle and Lars, and then finish what Ferry should have done. Not only that, but Brink also ordered other men to finish Ferry.
Rustig maar, Fer. Ze gaat...
Ferry approached Brink and said he had considered Brink his father. Hearing that, Brink said that he would not be fooled by Ferry's words. Brink also humiliated Ferry by saying that he was nothing without Brink. Feeling betrayed, Ferry finally finished off his boss and adoptive father. After that, he immediately drove one of Brink's luxury cars to chase after the men who were ordered to kill Danielle. Ferry caught up with the man at a red light and immediately finished him off. Long story short, after all his problems with Brink ended, Ferry apologized to Danielle and invited her to have a more serious relationship.
Ik weet ook niet waarom ik dat zei.
Ferry took Danielle to meet Claudia and John to formalize their relationship. There, Ferry says that Danielle has a great pill that they should try together. Danielle then revealed that the pill was made by her younger brother. Hearing this, Ferry felt interested in meeting Lars.
Hij maakt ze.
Echt?
The next day, Ferry went to Lars's ecstasy factory to plan something bigger.